And the gentleman from Colorado is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you. Mr. Smith, thank you for being here. Thank you for your service to our country. My colleague from Virginia, who's a Republican colleague who was questioning you right before the break, do you know what he said in the days after January 6th? Let me share this with you. This is a quote of his from a press release on January 8th. Congress stands united in our rejection of the violence that occurred this week, and I'll continue to urge the swift prosecution of those involved to the fullest extent of the law. Mr. Smith, this is theater. Republicans are trying to rewrite history. That's what this is. Many of them were with us in the House chamber on January 6th. I remember it well. The chairman was there, as was I. There's been a lot of discussion about witnesses today. Perhaps the chairman could muster the courage to call the 4 witnesses who I see. The American public may not see. I see standing behind you, Mr. Smith, the 4 police officers who risked everything, life and limb, to do what? To protect the Republican members on the dais. It's an outrage that they now sit here and have the audacity to try to rewrite history in front of the very officers who sacrificed everything to protect them. Mr. Smith, you're of course aware that President Trump was impeached for his conduct connected to January 6th, right?
Correct.
Do you know how many members of Congress voted to impeach him?
I don't recall.
232. Do you know how many Republican members of Congress voted to impeach him?
I don't recall.
10 Republican members of Congress voted to impeach him for his conduct related to January 6th, including at the time the sitting Republican chairwoman of their conference. There was a trial in the United States Senate. Senators sat as jurors. I remember it well because I was one of the prosecutors who prosecuted that case. Do you know how many senators voted to convict President Trump of high crimes and misdemeanors during that trial, Mr. Smith?
I don't recall.
57 senators. Do you know how many Republicans voted to convict him?
I don't recall.
7 Republican United States senators voted to convict President Trump of high crimes and misdemeanors. It was the most bipartisan vote for conviction of a president in the history of the republic. So they can engage in as much histrionics as they want to try to rewrite history, but facts are facts. They talk about weaponization. They accuse you of weaponization of the justice system. While the Federal Reserve Board chairman rings the alarm about political retaliation by this Department of Justice. Mr. Smith, I don't know if you're aware of this. I don't know if your counsel has made you aware that President Trump is live tweeting, I guess you call it truth socialing, as we speak. Are you aware of this, about this hearing?
No.
Let me read to you what he posted an hour and a half ago. Deranged Jack Smith is being decimated before Congress. It was over when they discussed his past failures and unfair prosecutions. He destroyed many lives under the guise of legitimacy. Jack Smith is a deranged animal who shouldn't be allowed to practice law. If you're a Republican, his license would be taken away from him, and far worse. Hopefully the Attorney General is looking at what he's done. We have a word for this. It's called weaponization. It's called corruption. Mr. Smith, if you care to respond, I'll give you an opportunity, but I will simply say we are grateful for your service to this country. We appreciate your fidelity to the rule of law. And I would echo the comments that have been made by my Democratic colleagues to ignore the noise that you hear from so many of my colleagues who would debase themselves in this way. It is, in my view, subversive of the oaths that we took to defend the Constitution. I'm happy to give you an opportunity, Mr. Smith, if you'd like to respond.
I don't have anything to add.
Thank you for your service.